From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. Here we are together again on the radio with a story from the Washington Post that I think you'll enjoy, especially if you're a regular listener to this broadcast. All you broads out there, and the people who love broads. People say, I hate chicks. I don't hate them. What, are you kidding me? Especially when I got them turned over and I'm doing them from behind. I love those broads. What, are you kidding me? Jesus. This from the Washington Post. Social scientists have known for years that men and women tend to be more tolerant of uninvited sexual advances if the perpetrators are good-looking members of the opposite sex. They call this the beauty bias. But two researchers, after my own heart, wondered if we're also more tolerant if the unsolicited, uninvited sexual advances come from someone who looks as if he or she has money. The answer? And it took research to find this. Yes. And it's men rather than women who are more likely to accept these come-ons from prosperous members of the opposite sex, claims psychologist Catherine Black of the University of Hartford and her student David Gold in a recent issue of the journal Sex Roles. The researchers invited 160 undergraduate men and women to read one of 8 vignettes and to imagine that the events described had happened to them. The vignettes began with a non-romantic situation such as studying for an exam that led to an unexpected sexual touch from a new acquaintance. To signal economic status, the person doing the touching was described in some vignettes as shabbily dressed, in others as expensively dressed. In some vignettes, the aggressor drove an upscale car, and others a jalopy. Study participants then filled out a questionnaire asking them to state whether the touch, described alternately as a gentle touch to the genital area or a forceful touch to the same place, was acceptable or unacceptable. Well, the good news is that nobody wanted to be treated roughly by a stranger. Both men and women rejected the forceful touch, no matter what the perpetrator was wearing or driving. But both men and women were significantly more likely to tolerate the gentle genital touch somebody who appeared to have money. Men in particular seemed more welcoming to uninvited advances from women who appeared to be wealthier, perhaps because guys were generally more willing to fool around, period, the researcher suggested. Participants rated advances by wealthy individuals as more acceptable, pleasing, and flattering than advances by poor individuals, Black and Gold wrote. One reason may be that we assume that appearance reflects something about a person's abilities or personality, they said, citing other studies showing that attractive people are viewed by others as intelligent, warm, and friendly. So you have scientific proof, once again, of something we've been telling you on this program and advising you about on this program for a long time. If somebody thinks you've got money, you look a lot more attractive. I tell you all how when I wear my sport coat of $100 bills, how I cannot scrape the women off me. They follow me. They follow me in throngs, for Christ's sake. But if you look like a loser, if you look like you don't make a good living, you drive a crappy car, you've got a filthy, disgusting apartment, you dress like a slob, you're not going to get away with this, as you would get away with doing unwelcome, unwanted advances to somebody if they think you're rich. Suddenly they don't mind so much. And I'm hardly surprised by this. It's bad news for people who don't know how to pass as having money or being successful. Some of you have to take some lessons and learn how to at least look successful. I think this is also very good information for people like you striking supermarket workers out there who should stop wasting your time picketing outside the supermarket and get some education and try to get a better career going so you can get better chicks. This also backs up something I've said for a long time about the motivation men have to be successful. Men are more motivated to be successful because they want better chicks. They want a better grade of chicks. That is why men get more degrees. That is why men become plastic surgeons, doctors, lawyers. That is why they become wealthy, work hard to make money. It's to impress chicks, to get them younger, hotter, prettier, more compliant. That is the primary motivation for men to be successful. This is scientific evidence proving what your professor has been telling you all along. Finally, some lab research that shows that if you look like you've got money, if the person you are touching in the crotchal area believes you've got cashola, believes you are successful, they'll let you get away with a lot more than if they think you don't. So if you show up in a broken-down old Ford Pinto and you start telling your date that you go to the community college where you're studying welding, you're much less likely to get away with groping her than you are if you tell her you're a screenwriter and you've got 2 scripts in development, or that you are a doctor and that you could get called away at any time, or if you tell her that you're an attorney, you're an entertainment lawyer, you've got big-name clients. Oh, yeah, you know my clients are, sure, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, yes, Vin Diesel. You know, I've got a lot of big clients. I mean, what chick ever reads the goddamn paper? Who would know who Tom Cruise's attorney is? You could really get away with a lot. Any opinions on this?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You need fat at certain places of the body.
Yeah, right. And if you got big boobs, come on in.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis on Hot Talk 1080 KO.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Mike, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Just the ratings, Mike.
I hear you. Hey, you know, I've tried to get to talking to you for a long time, but this subject is very interesting to me.
Why?
And I think it's ludicrous that a man should lie to try to get into a woman's pants.
Why?
Well,
men do it all the time. What's ludicrous about it?
Well, at least so overtly lying.
Well, of course overtly lie. The bigger the better.
But I do agree with the results of the study. And
have you ever said I love you to someone you didn't love so you could get in?
Honestly, yes.
That's not an overt lie?
That is an overt lie, but you know,
so you've done it too.
I have done it. And I'm definitely probably somewhat of a hypocrite on this subject, but...
so why not just go all the way? Tell the big lies.
Well, you know, the more lies you tell, the harder it is to keep the story straight.
But you don't have to keep the story straight. You know what? After you've gotten what you want, if she starts to figure out that there's something wrong, she smells a rat, move on to the next victim.
Yeah, but what
Who cares?
Well, check this out, Tom. What if it turns out you actually dig this chick, that you might actually think about, having more than one or two or
you know what? I guess when you're ready to settle down and have kids or something, maybe that's when you dial it down. But until then, if your goal is to get laid, who cares? Lie. Rent a Jag. Drive by a $3 million house that's under construction. Tell her that's yours and that you're just living in this crappy apartment while you're waiting for it to be completed. Do whatever you have to do.
Tom, you are the bomb. Blow me up, baby.
Here you go, Mike. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Mike. Another Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How you doing, man?
All right, Mike.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't agree with, finding true love in America. 90% of it's fake anyways, right?
Well, I do think that American women are predominantly gold diggers.
Yeah,
chunky, mouthy bitches with short hair who expect us to respect them and open doors for them. And then when you ask for dinner, they say you've got two hands, make it yourself. And I've checked out of that clan, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, but as soon as you get a good job, and as soon as you have a good job, you got this girl,
right.
You've been with her for 5 years, and then you make a bad move in your decision in life, and then all of a sudden she leaves you because you're not making enough money. Now, where's the true love in that, I don't know one person that's got, 100% love in it where they've gone bankrupt or something like that, and then they're there for you. I've never seen that.
Yeah, well, Mike, there might be some, but there's not a lot. Thank you. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Doug on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
All right, Doug.
Well, I had a comment regarding the topic that you had, the scientific data that came out that showed that men and women were more welcome to advances if they had money.
Right.
And although I probably agree with that, scientific data is what it is, but then you go on to say that's what motivates men, and then you said the scientific data proves it. Well, I don't see where that scientific data...
No, I didn't say the scientific data proves that. I'm simply saying that is what motivates men.
I think you said there's scientific data that...
No, the scientific data proves that you are more likely to get chicks if you appear to have money.
Right.
That's what it proves.
Okay, well, then I misunderstood. I thought for sure you went on to say that that's the reason men go out...
No, the data didn't prove that. That certainly could be an interpretation of it, but the data doesn't directly say that, no.
Okay. That's all I got for you, Tom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Katie on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Katie.
Well, I wanted to say that I agree completely with the study and once again with you.
Really?
I studied this in sociology like 14 years ago when I was at college, and it's called a compensating factor. It's like when Anna Nicole married that really old guy.
Yeah.
He had the money and she had the goods. And, women who say that they don't go after a guy or they would prefer to be touched by a guy or groped by a guy who has money is a liar. Straight up.
Oh, believe me. Do you know how many women I have touched in my vaunted position as a wealthy radio personality? Who, if I was a striking worker at Ralph's and tried to pick up a chick going into the supermarket, she'd go, "Get away from me, you creep."
Exactly. And why do you think it is that I live the life that I lead now, where I don't have to work? I have things taken care of me. I don't have to worry about it because I understood the reciprocal. I have my role as the wife and my husband has his role.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that in the dating world either because it's just a mating ritual like any other animal.
Well, I think you're right about that, Katie, and I thank you for the call. It's toll-free here. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Tony on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, buddy?
All right, Tony.
Well, long-time listener, first-time caller. But to be honest with you, Tom, I've been listening to you for a long time, and a lot of the things you say I totally agree with. But on this one, I think you're absolutely wrong. This is girls. These are girls. You're playing with their hearts. You're playing with their minds.
Oh, meow.
And you have a...
how many chicks lie to you with fake breasts, acrylic nails, fake hair color? They lie to you about all kinds of things. I'm on the pill. I'm using birth control. No, actually, I don't. I'm an atheist, and I don't believe in karma.
Well, I think definitely that what you do, what goes around comes around. I think I don't want a girl to sit there and play with my mind and play with my heart.
But they've done it, haven't they, Tony?
Huh?
They have done it to you, haven't they?
Absolutely, they have.
And the more of a good boy you are, the more they do it to you.
Well, not exactly. I broke up with my last girlfriend after 4 years because she wanted to party more and wasn't ready to, get serious. And, and I just stopped.
Being a nice guy didn't get you very far with her, did it?
Really, though? But the weird thing is I treated her like... And she loved me more, and then I was nice to her, and then she left me.
Well, then you just made my point for me, didn't you?
I know, but I'm not justifying it, though. I'm saying what you're saying is wrong, though.
It's not wrong. You just pointed out what I always say. When you treated her like crap, she was there for you, and when you started being a nice guy, she left.
No, Tom, come on, Tom.
You just said that.
Tom, if a girl...
Don't make me play it back. You just said that.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. So if I meet a girl and she falls in love with me, and then I'm like, all right, peace out, I'm going on to the next victim, you think that's right?
Why not?
What if a girl does that to you?
Let me tell you something, Tony. Girls have done that to every man listening to this show.
So it's happened to you, too?
Of course.
And you don't think it was wrong for them to do it to you?
It doesn't matter. That's the way of the world, and coulda, woulda, shoulda. I really don't care how the world ought to be. I deal with the world as it is.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know. Most of the things you say, I'm totally agreeing with you. A lot of the things you say about all the pregnancy and how men should be smart and safe, all of that, point taken. You're a very smart guy, but on this one, you're wrong, Tom. Take me out with a screaming orgasm.
Tony, I heard no proof, but here's your orgasm.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
Megan on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
This is actually the first day that I ever heard your show because I just moved out here from Colorado, and I think it's pretty interesting.
Thank you.
And I think there's a lot of truth about it. But I was just wondering, do you really think that all women are just gold-digging whores? I mean, do you...
No, all women are not gold-digging whores because all women are not attractive enough to be gold-digging whores.
Well, I mean, you were saying, that girl that was calling earlier, she said that she stays at home and, her husband goes to work and is a breadwinner and everything. But right. I think that would be absolutely boring. I would never want to stay at home all day and...
Well, 9s and 10s never say that.
Oh. Well, I think I'm a good-looking girl, definitely, but I just don't...
Yeah, how do you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
8.5.
Is that a Colorado 8.5 or a Los Angeles 8.5?
Well, I've gotten my fair share of dates, so...
Well, yeah, all you need is a vagina to get a date, dear. I'm asking you the quality of the dates.
I'd say, actually, I could give myself a 9. I'm gonna...
An LA 9?
And maybe not, I don't know about an LA 9.
A Colorado 9.
Colorado 9, maybe.
More like an LA 6.5.
No, not that bad. Definitely not that bad.
Now, all right, well, let me ask you the employment factor here. What kind of occupations do these men have who you're dating?
Well, let's see. Currently, the guy that I'm dating is in mortgage.
He's in, what does that mean? He's a mortgage broker?
No, he's a mortgage lender. I mean, he's not at the top of his, game at all. I mean, he's just...
How much does he make?
About $60,000.
About $60,000, okay.
But he's 24, so I mean, I don't expect him to be a CEO of a company anytime soon,
Well, the thing is, if you were 9 or 10, you'd be with the CEO.
Well, yeah, but I just think that whole older guy, younger girl thing, I'm 21. I think if you go over 26 or 27, that's gross. I'm not going to date a guy just because, believe it.
If you could get yourself a billionaire, you wouldn't be saying that. But my guess is, you can't get yourself a billionaire, dear.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Vicky on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Vicky.
Hey, I just got to say, I liked your last caller because, not all women are gold-digging whores.
No one said all women are. In fact, I specifically said all women are not. And the reason you know I said this is because I made it completely clear that women who are fat or unattractive wouldn't dare be gold-digging whores because they'd be wasting their time. So all women are not gold-digging whores.
No, but some people are with guys because they don't have to make a lot of money. It's nice that they work, and
mostly those are women who are 5s and 6s. These are not 10s.
I am not a 5 or a 6, nor am I a 10.
Well, you can't be a 10. I see your age here is listed as 42. That time passed a long time ago.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I know you don't think so, dear, but I don't know a lot of 10s who are 42 years old. In fact, I don't know any.
Not a one, huh?
Not a one.
Oh, that's too bad. What happens when you get a little older?
Dear, the fact is a man, when he gets a little older, can afford anything he likes, anywhere from 18 on up.
Really?
Yes.
Now, why do you say that?
Because women love money. They love being around money, power, and fame. And as long as I remain famous and powerful, there will always be women.
Of course, because they're only 20 years old. They don't know better.
Who cares? Do I really care if they know better? I hope they don't know any better.
Well, that's true. If you don't want to have an intelligent conversation or
Dear, if I want an intelligent conversation, I'll watch Meet the Press.
You want to see the press?
I don't go out with chicks to have an intelligent conversation. I know they're overmatched.
But your life sounds so sad.
Oh, dear. It's not sad at all. I got plenty of people to talk to. I don't. You know what? No, men do not date in order to meet a political debate partner.
You're probably right.
We meet to get laid.
Number one goal, right? And
the less that chick knows, the more likely it is with those pregnant pauses and everything. Might as well just leap into bed. She's got nothing to say. Perfect.
Oh,
those mouthy broads who never shut up, you never get into bed. You sit there debating who's going to get the Democratic nomination. Who cares?
Oh, okay.
Like most chicks at the age I'd be interested in wouldn't have any idea who's running for the Democratic nomination. Please.
I think.
By the way, any chick who knows who's running for the Democratic nomination is not a 10, probably not a 9.
Well, I'm not a 10 or a 9, but I'll take an 8.
You'll probably take an 8, but I don't know if anybody would give you one.
Oh, I know a few people, but probably not you.
Yeah, but they're how old are they?
28.
28. Oh, believe me, they'll give you an 8 for 20 minutes because they like you because you're like a freeway exit, easy on, easy off.
Oh, true. Hey, thanks, Tom.
I'm here to help, here to bolster that self-esteem. Another woman at 42 who has been fooled into believing that the interest of a 28-year-old means she's still got it. All that means that the 28-year-old can't meet other 28-year-olds. So he's using you as a booty call, and you are flattered by it, thinking it means he thinks you're hot. Please. Dean says the phrase, she's still got it, means she still gives it. Yeah. At low cost, I might add thee. That does not mean you're attractive or hot or a 10 or a 9. No. It means, hey, I've been going through a dry spell lately. I've worked my way through all the fat chicks, the ugly chicks. Now I'm gone to the old chicks. That's the list you're on, darling. Keep that in mind. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Sarah on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
You didn't ask me if I care.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I don't have all day, dear.
Okay. Well, I am not a 10, but I'd probably say I'm about an 8. And I am definitely not a gold-digging whore, as you've been saying. And I can get a guy that makes a lot of money. And I've actually recently...
Why wouldn't you, darling?
You know, I found somebody that I really love, and he doesn't make a lot of money. In fact, he doesn't make any money right now. But he
doesn't make any money at all.
No, he doesn't.
You're not a 9 or an 8.
No, I'm an 8. I promise you that.
Dear, I guarantee, if you're with a guy who makes no money.
See, I can get guys that make a lot of money, and I chose him.
What does he do for a living?
Nothing right now.
Nothing.
No.
You found yourself a great unemployed guy.
Well, he's actually in prison, so that's why
he's in prison.
Yes.
Now you're not even an 8 or a 7, dear. You've moved down again.
Yes.
There's no way. No way.
Okay, then how can I get a...
Why would you be with a guy who's in prison? And what did he do, by the way?
He had a problem with drugs.
He had a drug problem. Probably still has a drug problem.
Actually, he doesn't.
Why would you want to be with somebody who has a drug problem?
I don't know.
You don't know. And how did you meet a guy in prison? Was he in prison when you met him?
No, he wasn't. He was out on parole.
He was out on parole?
Yes.
And then what, did he violate parole?
Yeah, I did.
He did. And how did he do that? Smoke pot?
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably did other things too. A little blow, a little this, a little that.
Yeah. But,
yeah, and you knew he was doing drugs, but you loved him anyway.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't know until probably like 2 or 3 months into the relationship, and then he told me.
And then when you found out, you said, but I love you anyway. Or you left him.
I left him.
You left him until what?
I left him. Until he went back to prison. He got caught and went back to prison.
And then you fell in love with him when you saw him behind bars?
No, he's not behind bars. He's not in a regular prison.
Oh, what's he in?
It's for people that are returned to custody. It's like being in a military base. It's like a barrack.
Uh-huh.
And it's in Arizona. It's not even in the state.
Oh, was he in like the tent city or something?
Is he what?
Is he in the tent city?
No, he's in Florence.
Florence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
And so what was it about this guy who's in custody for an extended period of time, a medium security facility of whatever kind? What is it about him that you saw and you said, God, I'm in love?
He's a good person.
He's a good person.
He really is, aside from the drugs that he does.
Aside from the drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
that he does. So you admit he still does drugs?
No, I don't admit that.
Is that because he can't get drugs in custody or what?
Please, that's like the easiest place to get drugs is in prison.
I see.
So no, I know he's not doing drugs. I can tell by the way.
But he's a loser. What kind of career did he have before he got arrested?
Let's see. I met him in a nightclub. He was a bouncer at a bar.
A bouncer. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm not.
Essentially a loser.
Yeah, I mean, you probably think I'm like fat and ugly, but I'm really not.
Well, then you have very low self-esteem.
No, I don't. I have a college degree. And
why would you be in love with a loser like this?
I met him.
He's a complete loser.
Well, just because he doesn't have a job doesn't.
No, he doesn't have a job because he's in jail, dear.
Right.
And that's why he doesn't have a job.
Right. So
and he does have a job. He makes big rocks into little rocks.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's his gig.
Yeah.
And you're in love with a guy like that, which says something about you.
No, listen, I had a choice between a guy that made a lot more, like over $100,000 a year, that's like 27, who's definitely going places.
So you're dumber than he is.
Well, I'm not dumb. I'm telling you.
How smart can you be? You are dating a complete loser.
He's not a loser.
He's a complete loser.
No, he's not.
He is not even. He's not.
Messed up. He's had a hard time. He messed up. You know?
Oh, please! He had a hard. He didn't mess up once. He was on parole and he messed up again.
Yeah, well,
this is a loser, and you can't even see that he's a loser.
He's done stupid things. I can see it.
No, because he is a loser.
He's not a loser.
What is his career goal? What are his career ambitions?
He wants to do. I don't know. I mean, he wants to do.
You don't know because he doesn't know. Because he's a loser. How old is he?
He's 28.
And he doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up. At 28...
He spent 5 years in prison.
Right. Well, they got a lot of time to think about a career choice there, and he came out, and what did he do? More drugs. Loser.
What he's going to do? They return him right back to the playground.
He belongs in prison. And
he doesn't belong in prison.
Of course he does. He's a criminal.
He has a great family. They're a middle-class family. I mean, they're...
He has a wife and kids, too?
His background. No.
What kind of family is this?
No, his family, his parents.
Oh, his parents?
He grew up with.
I'll bet they're proud.
People.
I'll bet they're proud. What university did he graduate from, by the way?
I don't know. I know where I graduated from.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you graduated from, dear. Where did he,
He didn't go to college.
Your pride. Oh, he didn't go to college. Does he have a high school diploma?
Do you have a college degree, Tom?
No, I don't.
See, there you go.
But I'm not a loser like your boyfriend.
So, but you don't have a college degree.
I don't need one because I'm not a loser.
So he might not need one either.
Well, dear, he's 28 already and still doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up.
Wow.
Has no job, could not maintain a job.
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
How long is he going to be in jail, by the way?
He gets out next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
What's your big plan?
To pick him up and...
Smoke a little weed? What?
No, I've never done drugs. I've never done a drug in my life. I've never even smoked pot.
Yeah, but you knew him when he was smoking pot, didn't you?
Actually, yeah, but it wasn't pot. It was speed, and yeah.
Speed, and you knew it. You were like, oh, but I love you.
I didn't know it. I told you I didn't know it.
You didn't know until... Wait, so you didn't know he was on parole?
No, I knew he was on parole. I didn't know.
Did you know what he was on parole for?
Yeah, for theft.
Theft?
Yeah, when he was like 15.
And he was stealing so he could buy drugs?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yes. So this is the guy you say is not a loser.
This is stuff he did 10 years ago.
I don't care when he did it, dear. And then he came out and then he was doing speed.
So you don't think anybody that is in prison can change?
Dear, at 28, it's getting a little late.
Well, when you're in prison...
And by the way, 5 years in prison, if you can't sit there and get some education or think of what you want to do when you get out of prison, Instead of being a bouncer, maybe you figure out what your career is going to be. I mean, the guy has no ambition. None. Zero. Zip. And it tells us a lot about you that's what you're in love with.
Wow. No, yeah, it does tell a lot about me. It tells you that I'm giving some guy a chance.
No, you're another fixer. You're another woman who likes to be with a fixer-upper. You're Mrs. Bob Vila. You're gonna buy a big fixer-upper. This old house is getting out of prison next week, and you're gonna do a little renovation on him. He's another fixer-upper. You're gonna get the Fab Five in to give him a pedicure. You're another fixer-upper. That's what you are.
I can't afford to be a fixer-upper.
Dear, that's all you are. Why would you want to be waiting for a guy to get out of prison who has no ambition to be anything at 28 years old? Because you have low self-esteem and you're dating a loser.
I don't have low self-esteem.
Really? Then why would you want to be with a man?
Any guy I want.
No, dear, I've heard that. You know what? Why don't you tell that to your boyfriend? That'll be really flattering, too. I might add that if you can get anybody you want, then why don't you?
Because I honestly, I love him.
Because you love a man who is a complete loser, who has nothing going for him.
He does have things going for him. He's not a complete loser. He doesn't have...
By the way, previously
he like a doctor or a lawyer.
He hid from you the fact that he did drugs. What makes you think he's going to tell you he's doing drugs in prison?
Because he knows he can't do drugs with me.
Well, that's why he's not going to tell you, dear.
No, he knows that he can't be with me and do drugs. I left him the last time. And
so now he will go underground and he won't tell you. You just told me the reason you know he's not doing drugs in prison is because he told you he's not doing drugs in prison.
You can tell when someone's doing drugs by the way that they act.
Here, you're not with him all the time. He's in Arizona in jail.
I talk to him every day.
So what?
I get letters from him. I see him. I've seen him. I went and visited him. He acts totally different than he did before.
Mm-hmm. And by the way he acted before was perfectly okay with you until he went to jail.
No, it was horrible. I dumped him. I left him. I couldn't handle it.
Right, and you got back with him when he was in jail?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't go into it that way. I mean, I went in there to be a friend because I know that he needs somebody, you know.
No, he doesn't. He needs tough love. He needs everybody to say, we are rejecting this out of hand.
See, that's not true because that makes it worse. When you tough love somebody and you tell them...
No, it doesn't, dear. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. It drags... Now he is dragging you into the quicksand.
No, he's not, because he can't. I have set my life up.
He already has.
I have my own education. I have a job. I have my own apartment. I mean, I can live on my...
Right, and don't worry, he'll be living off your salary, too, starting next week.
He can't. I can't afford him, Andy.
Oh, really? So what's he going to do for a living when he gets out?
I don't know.
You don't know. So who's going to be paying the bills when he first gets out? You.
When he first gets out.
Yes, and who knows how long it's going to take him to find a job. Then it'll be, well, I was in jail and nobody wants to hire a guy who was in jail. Nobody wants to give a guy a chance. And you'll be complaining that he's not getting a chance.
No, because he worked a lot when I met him before. He worked 2 jobs.
I'll bet he did. Drugs are expensive.
What are expensive? Drugs?
Drugs are expensive. No wonder he works so hard.
Apparently he gets them for free.
That
was his story.
That's a great explanation.
Yeah.
By the way, nobody's getting drugs for free, darling.
That's
why he was arrested at 15 for theft. He was stealing to buy drugs, darling.
That was then.
And by the way, it isn't that different now.
You don't think people can change?
I don't think they ever change for other people. I don't.
I don't think it's changing for me. I think it's
changing dear, you are convinced of that because you said you left him because he was doing drugs, and now you're back with him. But he knows that if he does drugs, I won't be with him. You are convinced that you are the motivating factor. And you know what? He hasn't changed at all, and you're going to find that out the hard way.
Tom. Oh, yeah. Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Fabian, you're on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
I've listened to you for about 6 months, and I got to disagree with you on this point right now that you're talking about women being gold diggers that are not 10s or 9s. My wife's a 10, and she's a fine-looking Puerto Rican woman, and she ain't no damn gold digger.
Really? So you don't make a lot of money?
I make over $100,000.
Oh, really?
I'm a real estate
And you have been sucked into believing that she's with you because she loves you.
She makes her own money. We've been together 10 years. She makes her own money.
I see. So you don't pay for anything?
We split the bills.
In half?
We split the bills. Unlike where...
In half? In half?
She brings in the money. I bring in the money. We both pay the bills.
How much does she make?
She makes about $2,000 a year.
$2,000 a year?
I mean, $2,000 a month. Sorry about that.
That's $24,000 a year.
Yeah. She doesn't.
You do not split the bills in half.
Yeah, we split the bills in half.
Well, then let's see. Your rent is $500 a month?
It's about compromising.
Your rent is $500 a month?
No, I don't pay $500.
How much is your rent?
I pay about $1,100.
All right, so she's paying $550 a month?
I've got a Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah, but let's get back to your rent. $550 a month? You're paying $550.
No. You said $550.
I'm asking you. Yeah, so the half of that is $550, right? Yeah.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
One easy way to tell what you look like is to ask how much money your husband makes. If your husband makes $1 million a year, I want to see you naked. If your husband makes $35,000 a year, don't even bother showing it to me. I don't want to see. If you make twice the money your husband makes, you're hideous. Bottom line.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.